Good morning. We're going to do this beautiful scene. This is Greenwood Farms in Ipswich. Beautiful old restored early period house there. So a little phthalo blue in the sky down to, there's a big light in the middle of the sky there. So come down with the phthalo blue and then leave some white. And I just put a little rose in the phthalo blue to make that gray, with just a touch, a pinch of raw sienna. That'll give you that nice gray. So spread the gray. I put some water on the bottom of that blue, and then take a towel and shape your beautiful clouds. Okay, get rid of all the hard edges in the middle there. Clouds are always nice and soft, so do that. Take your time with it. You can develop some beautiful clouds. Once you do that, you can go back in. I'm going back in with some cobalt blue. And you can keep doing this to develop some very beautiful clouds. So put it on and take it off using the towel. Beautiful thing. All right, we're going to put that stretch of trees in the back. This is ultramarine blue with quin sienna. And I'm using the darker version on the bottom, so it's more blue on the bottom. It's very dark, and then I'm using the quin sienna on the top to show the light hitting the top of the trees in the distance. And because I'm painting into that moist cloud, it's giving me a nice soft edge, and the soft edge will give you a sense of distance, which is really important. Okay, we're doing the other side. Same thing, a little darker at the bottom where it's getting less light, and a little more quin sienna at the top where it's getting more light and showing the warmth of the trees in the background. They're not that far in the distance, so I'm not worried about putting them back, but if you can keep that soft edge on the top, it would help. All right, I'm going to put this, this is Iridian yellow, a very light wash on the house, the beautiful yellow house. I'm just going to put a layer of yellow in there. It's going to dry much later. All right, what I'm doing here is I'm taking a damp brush and lifting off some of the yellow on the top of the house where the light is hitting. So it gives you a sense of light right on top there, which is really good. All right, in the background you have, the bank of snow along the water here. There's, the ocean is in the background. So I just put a very light wash of rose all along that bank of snow. Just show a little color. This is Windsor blue. It's going to take several layers of Windsor blue to make this nice and rich and dark. Windsor blue dries so light. But you're better off putting it on in layers. Give you a nice sense of depth with the color. A lot of that's still wet, so I'm being very careful here. All right, so in the back where we put the rose, I'm taking a little bit of raw sienna mixed with quin sienna, and I'm just showing this, along that bank, it's covered with snow, but there's grass on it, and the grass is coming through here and there, so you can just spread that and put some, let it come through. This is just ultramarine blue. I'm running the ocean is right there in the strip, so I'm running the ultramarine blue with just a little bit of the with the phthalo blue mixed into it. Show a little bit of separation in colors and light, so forth. All right, there's another strip of ocean. Comes right around. All this stuff is in the background, so you really don't have to worry too much about it, but it's gonna, you don't even notice it when everything else is done. But you still have to be careful about it and keep the values right. Okay, little strips of grass poking through the snow. And put another layer of phthalo blue on the house roof. Beautiful color blue shadow there. These are wooden shingles, but it's all covered with snow, so nice and smooth. Okay, we'll let that dry and see what it looks like. All right, I'm mixing up a little quin sienna here with the yellow and creating the shadow on the house. There's going to be a tree in front of that house, so that the tree is casting the shadow, and a little darker there on the base. There's a doorway here with a little roof on it that I'm going to try to save. Not that important. All right, so I'm going to drop a little bit of cobalt blue on this now and make it a shadow. It'll mix with that quin sienna and yellow and give you a nice sense of shadow on the base of the house. And I'm using that color on the side of the house where there is no light at all. A little bit of reflective light from the snow, but generally it's all in shadow. A little piece of black paint on the top of the chimney. I'm going to pop in the windows now. There's a doorway. All right, here comes that beautiful, the beautiful shadows. Now, generally, you know, you've heard me talk many times about having, making it too busy in one area that's taking away from center of interest, which is the house. But in this case, you know, you have all this snow and all these shadows on the snow. So what helps us here is the lines leading us into the house. They lead you right in, and so your eye doesn't stay in the front of the house with all that busyness, you know. So those lines going into the house are very important. All right, this is just phthalo blue. I think I mixed a little bit of ultra in there, just to get a little variety in the blues. That's a little hillside on the right. There's a bunch of trees out of sight here that are casting shadows all the way across this snow. This is late afternoon. So you have these long shadows. The edge of that snowbank is important. You want to really give it a turn there, get it turning on the bank. All right, here's the tracks of, looks like some kind of vehicle went in there and left these tracks. So there's a nice light violet on the snow. It's not, it looks white, but it's not, and you want to get that in there because that helps you to keep the white mounds light, you know, where the sun is hitting those light mounds. I'll let you just watch this. It's just a little rose mixed with the blue to give you that violet. And you can see those tracks. So you can see how those tracks lead you right into the house along with the hillside. diagonal, it really helps. Little rows in there. All right, so what sits this all down are these horizontal shadows. They really help to sit the whole thing down, keep them very light, and let them go right across the whole, that whole front foreground there. Okay, all right, let's get back to the trees here. There's ultramarine with quin sienna at the base of these trees. There's very little light getting in there, but the light is hitting the tops of the trees, so you really want to push it towards the quin sienna. Yeah, you can see that the light hitting the tops of this bush, and all along this whole bank of snow. There's shrubbery and trees, and a couple of trees here. Yeah. Take your time and enjoy that. You know, this is some nice shrubbery going in there. We have this big, beautiful, dark bush on the left. Same thing, ultramarine and quin sienna on the base, very dark, and then as it goes up, it's catching more light, getting reflective light from the snow. So we push it more towards the quin sienna here. Leave plenty of holes in the bush. Very dry brush here, okay? Very dry brush. You can even put a drop of cadmium red in there if you want to accent it and push it. So we'll develop the edges. It's a beautiful weight on the left of the painting. All of this helps you keep the viewer's eye in the center. So we have this bush on the left, the bush on the right, and then we're going to add another small bush on the right here. There's a tree. It's actually an apple tree growing just outside the house. Get the main trunks in first. You know, nice sharp brush. Get those main trunks in, and then we'll add the, you know, what leaves are left. There's all kinds of little trees and bushes and stems poking out of the snow here that it all adds a little bit to it. You know, it's good to get it in there. Very dry brush. Some quin sienna on the top of the tree. Where the light is hitting. A little darker on the base here. Okay, there's a bunch of shrubbery at the base of the tree. There's really more than one tree there. The right side of it seems to be getting a lot more light. So, you know, you just keep it lighter. Keep the quin sienna showing instead of the ultramarine. Little pieces of grass growing out of the snow. All right, there's a nice little bush on the right here. This is grass growing out of the snow, but it's a nice balance to the composition. So you want to get that in there and put a little light. Same thing, a little light on the top. All right. So we're almost there. Take a look at it, see what we have. A beautiful scene that is really worth taking a ride. There's a beautiful path that goes all the way around. That hillside in the back is the Crane Estate. Maybe we'll put a few birds in the sky here and call it a day. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that scene. It's a beautiful place. And I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.